So we're here to talk to you about a book that we both rated a five. A five. It's a big deal, guys. Big, big deal. And it's called Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by
Brandon Sanderson.
What's fun about this one is he got to play a lot more as a writer and he wanted to dedicate this one to his wife. So this is actually a romance book. And I mean it's not like pure romance, but it's him dabbling in more of a young adult romance novel. And it's cool because if you're into anime, if you're into video games like Final Fantasy, this is kind of his inspiration.
It has Asian influence.
Mhm.
If you look at the cover and the art, and as you begin to read, you'll notice that it's Asian. Like there's actually high and low ways of how they speak. So it adds a layer of almost jokes and insider sarcasm. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's showing you the artwork. The artwork is phenomenal. The artist was Aaliyah Chen.
Yeah,
So
really well done.
kudos to her. All of the artwork adds to that feel because Asian culture, art history is a very big deal. So yeah, I enjoyed I enjoyed it. I read it both as a book sometimes, and then I had to switch over to the audiobook sometimes, depending on my day and what was happening. So I mean, it was really great to be able to have it as the audiobook and then the real book.
We did get this ahead of time for other people. This doesn't come out onto print until I think October, November, because we purchased it through the Kickstarter that he did.
So secret project,
secret
Brandon
Sanderson. This is his third secret project that came out. The next one will come out in October, I think. So, this is my favorite of the three that came out, though.
So far, I mean, I could be surprised about four. It would be so hard to beat. I mean, when I'm thinking about this book, I use like, we do 5 out of 5, but sometimes you're like mentally it's like 4.6 or 4.8 and you're rounding it up, right? Like this is solid, so close to a 5. Like it's really hard because he sets the standard, I think, in fantasy and science fiction writing, and it helps that he's been writing forever, but it is also a professor. So yeah. Yeah, I don't even know. It's so hard to top Brandon Sanderson. I mean, the artwork, he's getting professional artists to do not just one, but multiple.
And I think that was definitely something he's worked on because it's been a feedback in the past. Some people are like, your artwork could use some work. And like fans will do their own artwork and bring it to him at his book signings. Like, see, look at my artwork. Like, this is closer to what we were thinking or talking about. And he'll look at it and he's like, you're right. That's like really well done. So I think connecting with fans has, I think, helped him with that because he's connected with people who are like, no, I really enjoy your work and I am having fun making artwork for you. And that's, I think, another sign that you've got a good story and you've got a good, yeah. Anyway.
And also people tend to copy you, right? When you make and break these ideas. So
what's cool about this book, it's a little different, is you get kind of two stories and you'll find out how they connect later. But you've got somebody who lives in more of a time period where there's no technology. And then you get one where the nightmare painter, he's in this futuristic time period where they get energy through weird.
It's more of our modern idea, a little alternative modern day.
Yep. So that was actually kind of a cool little twist. For anyone else who's Brandon Sanderson fan, it is based in his Cosmere universe. So you get a little bit of fun characters that you know of from previous books, but it is a standalone. You do not need to have read anything in this Cosmere world to be able to enjoy and understand the story. There's just a few little cutesy like
a lot
and stuff. Well, that's true.
There's quite a bit of like nuggets of information and detail that he adds to his Cosmere from this book. It was like, oh.
Yeah. But again, you would just take it as some kind of quirky, cool fact when you're
Yeah.
reading the book. You wouldn't be like, huh? So, but what else could you say about it? I don't know. There's definitely growth too with both characters. I think that's one reason why I also really loved the book was it's not stagnant. So uh, I always like it when people develop and change because I'm ever changing. I'm not the same person I was even just last year because you pick up new hobbies, you learn new things about yourself.
This is more
Yeah,
like a opposites attract romance.
mm,
So it's
it's cute.
cute. It's very
Ah,
cute.
jinx, I know, right? Um, but again, if you're not into cutesy, you will enjoy this story because you'll connect to the humor. And like I said, the technology and the world building and whatnot. So I think it has glimpses of a lot of different I think items that people enjoy in books that will make you connect to it. And like I said, it's got a lot of video game um, inspiration in it. So like it flows really well. And I think in some ways a little faster paced than some books actually, because it kind of felt like a video game in a sense that these are the paths. This is what you're doing. This is your next task. This is the next part of the story. Yeah, so I like that.
And obviously I connect on like an emotional level to the characters. So, it made me laugh, it made me cry, it made me sore. It was a great book. I look forward to reading again and like finding things that I missed.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure I missed things.
We've mentioned this before. We both are avid readers, and so uh, I'm usually pretty safe with just buying Brandon Sanderson's books. But like if I hadn't bought this, I would be buying it, if that makes any sense. When my sister and I find books that are five, we'll usually actually go and buy it from the bookstore then at that point. That way we have a copy. Um, but
These are
yeah,
the type of books that change you too. Like you're continuing to think about them later. And like next year, I'll be like, I think I should really reread this. You know, yeah. 5-star books, they are rare.
I know it sounds very bad that it's the rare, but if I rate something a 4 star, I mean that's
That's
a
a great
compliment,
praise.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a good praise. Even some 4 stars I'll reread. So some of the Harry Potter books, maybe this is blasphemous, are fours. They're not fives. Sorry, guys.
I agree. They're especially now as like an adult and reading them. I'm like, oh, I mean, still a big fan, but
Yeah. Although
there's
I
some
think there are a
few
few
here.
that like book three
Yeah,
still is one of my
it makes
favorites of the Harry
sense.
Potters, and I think she does a really good job. But sorry, that's a
We digress.
digress.
But I
Yeah.
don't know. It was a
Yes,
great
please,
read.
please,
Read it.
please, please, please read it. I it was just well done. I really liked it. So well done, Brandon Sanderson.
Clapping.